Hey, so y'all know how we do on the clip, man. Segment after segment after segment. Next segment is mine, Prince's Pick. All right, so we're gonna go right into Prince's Pick, and Prince's Pick today is: what do you think? What advice do you got for beginner barbers looking for barbershops to go and work in after school? Which one would be more beneficial? Now, I know that before I say the pick, I know that it all depends on the kind of person and who you are. But for the guy that's trying to get some money real quick, trying to get his skills and hone his craft, what's more beneficial for him to go to one of those shops that are more luxurious, high prestige? You got to wear the shop outfit. You got to be there at a certain time, leave at a certain time. Your clientele is a more upscale clientele, or go to those urban shops where it's more down to earth. People can dress how they want, talk how they want, do whatever they want. Which one do you think would benefit a barber to be going into? Because honestly, mostly from what I've seen, at least in my neighborhood, they're mostly urban shops, and there's only a few luxury shops. But like I said, I'll give my take real quick. In my opinion, I've worked in both, and I'm kind of an in between guy. I like to provide a luxury experience in a laid back setting a little bit. So, but I've worked in both. I started off my whole career all urban shops because that's all that's around here, and I think that jumping into that, my take is it's not too beneficial for a barber, because even if you're not the luxury upscale kind of guy. So I was working in all these barbershops. So that's the take. Which one? Well, I'm gonna give you my take. So I was working in all these urban barbershops. Then I got tired of like not getting the kind of clientele I want and all that. So I went to a very luxurious mall, the Natick Mall out here in Massachusetts. And I worked in there for Josh Pereira. He won Entrepreneur of the Year at the CT Barber Expo a couple years back. He's real big out here. He cuts all the Patriots and Red Sox. So with that said, I went to his shop. And the reason why I think after doing that a barber should start off in one of those shops is because you become like a barber. You have to get there on time. You leave at a certain time. All kind of textures of hair go into the luxury shops. In the urban shops is usually, minorities or whatever, or just tapers and fades. You know what I'm saying? In the luxury shop, you're gonna have to learn how to do a men's regular or a classic cut, and a lot of those dudes still get tapers and fades as well. Then you got their kids that have those broccoli haircuts. You're basically gonna do every single type of haircut when you're in a luxury setting, and you're gonna be around professionals that show you how it's done. And you're gonna use your shears. You're gonna learn how to speak and move. You'll learn how to come to work on time, dress properly, and all that. And then if you're kind of an urban guy and you prefer urban setting, at least I say go to those ones first. Learn barbering, learn how it's done, and then you can take that mindset and you can go in an urban shop and you won't pick up the bad habits as quickly because you already know how it's supposed to be done. So, Timmel, I see you trying to get in there. Let me know your
Yes,
take first, brother. Let's go.
man. I can tell y'all takes be so long. Nah, I'm
Yeah,
playing.
yeah, yeah. Well,
We
it was
hey,
the take. It was the pick, and then I gave you my take. So now I'm done. So now let me hear what you got to say.
Okay, let me see if I can stay on topic. So
Got you.
there's a shop for everybody, right? There's barbers that want to know how to do shear work and want to be a well-rounded barber. There's barbers that just want to cut ethnic hair. Barbers that just want to cut straight hair. I think what's vitally important is when you're going and interviewing for a shop, you're also interviewing the owner or whoever you're
yeah.
interviewing with. You want to
To
know
see
if
if you
this
can mesh
shop,
well.
if it fits me.
Yeah.
Word.
Instagram is going to show you all the good things about that shop. But if you go in there and just sit as if you was a client, just soaking up the atmosphere, and when you speak to the owners, what they're offering you, are they offering you any kind of educational classes? Do they want you to participate in that kind of stuff? Or do they just want to get your booth rent? I'm the
Yeah.
type of barber shop owner. I don't care about your booth rent. I want business-minded barbers that want to be successful. You're gonna find me being one of the biggest cheerleaders for you, probably bigger than yourself, because I want to see you win. The money is
Word.
not the problem, but barbers sometimes just want to be barbers. Mediocre barbers just want to cut specific type of hair, and they're satisfied with the type of income they get. They're not wanting six
Yeah.
figures. They'll be happy with 80,000, 70,000, or they want it, but they don't want to really put in the work. So they're just cool with
Yeah.
where they're at. So it comes down to that. There's so many different types of barbers that you can't just be like, it's this one that you can be well rounded and this one that isn't. There's in between that. So
Right.
it
Right.
all
So
comes down to
which
what
one do
type
you
of
think is
business you
more?
want to do.
Which one do you think is more beneficial for a beginner straight out of school?
For it began. Then here's another thing. I've seen people straight out of school going into shops where the owner wants your booth rent that week. You ain't got no clientele. They want your booth rent. Not only that,
Right.
I seen them outprice the barber, and they're saying, okay, you're gonna charge $50 for a haircut, and that barber ain't even a $30
Ain't going.
barber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So some
Yeah.
of this comes down to the owners and putting people in positions to win, and then for you to have the mindset to say that this ain't gonna work for me if you're gonna charge me booth rent my first day or whatever,
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
But I think being well rounded, so when anybody touches that doorknob, you can cut it because you're not leaving money on the table.
Right.
To be in a shop that they're going to help you to grow to be that would be a shop that I think students should get into, because you'll pick up some very bad habits with people just collecting your booth rent.
Got you. And that can happen in an urban shop or a luxury shop. Really saying it depends on the owner and the culture that he's created in his shop.
The owner is the biggest thing. The culture, the environment, all of that
Got you.
is big. I got barbers in my shop that came from shops that they look at my shop and hear what I'm offering them. They're like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
is amazing. Because I
Got you.
want their success, because their success will backpedal on our success. It'll help us succeed.
There you go. Lonnie, what's your take on that, man?
I just want to make sure I'm clear. When you say luxury versus urban shop, are we talking more independent contractor shop versus franchise
So
type of shops,
for
or
the most part, the luxury shops are all commission for that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't want to lean it towards commission versus booth rent because I'm basically saying like those more structured shops. So yeah, I
that's what
guess
yeah,
commission,
that's what
yeah,
I so
but structured all
so
the way
so what I
around.
take from I take for it, it sounds to me like the independent shop versus
Commission,
the
yeah,
franchise shops, because a franchise shop is going to usually be a W-2
yeah,
person that's on the payroll and things like that. So I'm very in agreement with my partner right here. You know, it's circumstantial,
yeah,
to be honest with you. Me personally, I think the person that's leaving out of school needs to really be honest with themselves and gauge where they're at. And I think an independent shop, you have to really, really express, and this goes back to the shop owner, like T said, you really have to express that you're an entrepreneur coming in here. So when you come in here, you're not just showing up to work and business just going to start pouring
right,
in your chair. You're coming in and you're going to become a marketing director. You're going to become an administrative person. You're going to become all this. You're a publicist. You're all kind of stuff. So if you're not really ready for that, which I find more are not ready for it than they think they are, because when they see us doing what we doing, they think it looks cool and I want that, but you don't realize that there's an ugly part that we was willing to
yeah,
go through that you're
Facts.
not willing to
Facts.
go through. So one thing I saw that happened at Timmel shop, he had this cold female barber come out of one of the franchise barber shops, and they groomed this lady so tight. They groomed her to where she was cutting hair in less than 25-30 minutes. Her financial management was on point. Everything,
Her
her
customer
cleanliness, her
service
She was
was
just on
sanitation,
point. Top tier
on
barber.
on
great.
next level, my dude. So this is the trippy part. She was comfortable in that atmosphere because she knew she had a paycheck and so forth. But she's peeking over the fence, seeing us on this independent side, going, "I want to do that, but I don't know if I'm ready." So she talks to Timmel, and Timmel's like, "Wait." He asked her a few questions, and she like, you cutting this and how?" He like, "Oh, you would kill it over here, like you would." So she was so scared to do it that when she jumped in, she was on fire. This was easy to her. And it made me wish that everybody did that before they came over to our side, because a lot of people think they're ready to be entrepreneurs, but then they come over here and they say, well, man, I want to work my own hours, be my own boss and do this and that. But then you don't even show up to
Right.
work for yourself. Like Tamel always say, you'll go and work for Amazon and your ass to be early. But then you'll come here and like y'all was talking about earlier, man, you can't take a 4-hour
yeah,
lunch break.
yeah.
Tank said it. You
Nah,
can't be on
not
Got
the
lunch,
shop
man.
stop.
You
the
need to be
shot.
your ass here for the walk-ins. So to wrap up my opinion, man, I think it's circumstantial. I'm a big supporter of all types of barbershops, and I love that there's all types because there's all types of people. So I hate when I call us custom barbers. I hate when the custom independent barbers put down the franchises because the franchises are
Yeah.
necessary. And so you got to gauge where you're at when you're getting out of school. and tell yourself the truth on where you
Word.
fit. And I do the same thing with the apprenticeship. When you come as an apprentice, I don't have time for an apprentice. We're a busy shop. We got 2 shops. We're busy, and we got hitters in there. But
Right.
I came from the apprenticeship. So you always want to give back to what you
Right.
came from. But the difference was I had already been cutting good hair. I just needed the license. So you got to really gauge where you're at. And I could only work with an apprentice if their haircutting level is
Certain
already
place.
at a place to where you're only going to school because you
Right.
need the license, not because you never touched
Right.
clippers before. So yeah, in the end, man, you got to gauge where you are when you're getting out of school. Tell yourself the damn truth. Don't think you a Tank the Barber just because you've been watching his YouTube
Facts.
shit all day. Be for you ain't Prince because you've been doing push-ups. Like you don't realize Prince been running around here doing the sacrifices he been doing, and now that's why he can do that. So yeah, gauge where you are, and then and appreciate all types of platforms. Go interview and figure out which one fits you for the phase you're at, and know that you can always graduate to one of the other ones if you
Man,
choose to.
I knew there was going to be gems in this episode. Hot take, Lonnie. We appreciate you. Tank, what you got to say about this, man? Luxury shop, commission, booth rental, however you want to put
Yeah.
it. But which one's better to start off?
I think, like Lonnie and Timmel said, it depends on the barber, man. Every barber's different. There's some barbers who need structure. They don't know how to wake up early. They don't know, like yes, the shop opens at 10, but they have no one telling them, be here at 10 or your ass is in
Right.
trouble. They're like, oh, I can just show up when I want, right? And those type of people need to go to one of the shops to where it's more structured. They have to be there at a certain time because it's going to teach them discipline and teach them how to be on time, teach them how to be responsible, right? Sometimes you got to take that step and do that first before you move over to the entrepreneurship side of being a barber. Me personally, I first started in an urban style shop. I didn't go to that, but I was always, I say responsible in air quotes because we was all irresponsible as kids, right? But I already know, like once I got this barbering job, I knew like I had to shake something, bro. I got to make something happen. I got to make money. I got a family. Like I'm gonna make it. Like this is where I'm gonna make it at. I'm gonna make it happen, right? So I was there before the shop opened. I was there after the shop closed, and every hour in between. Would I take lunch breaks? Yeah, but I still tried to make it quick. Like, I'm talking about we had a Jack in the Box across the street. I was going there and back and watching barbers cut hair, trying to figure out what I needed to do, right? Because that's what I knew I wanted to do. There was barbers in the shop that I started at, that I'm still at today, 18 years this June, that they were already booked up, cutting hair good, and it's like, how can I get like this person, right? So I took them on, like, I'm kind of shadowing them, asking them questions, picking their mind, trying to figure out how to become the successful barber, because in my eyes, that was successful, and that helped put me in the right direction where I needed to go. So it does depend on what you want to do, but I think if you don't have structure as a barber, if you can't show up to work on time, you don't know how long your lunch break should be, you like to leave early, you shouldn't do that as a barber first. You should go to the shop that has more structure to learn how to be structured, learn how to be on time, learn how to manage your appointments, learn how to do all this. Then once you got that situated, go do what you want. You want to open up a suite, you want to open up your own shop, you want to move to a barbershop down the street because your homeboys work there and they say it's popping, do you. But learn the basics first, master that, so no matter what type of barber you decide to become, you can excel and be successful in it.
Fire takes all the way around. If you're watching, make sure you put your take in the comments. And I'm gonna end off this segment with saying, listen, if you're an instructor at a barber school, or if you own a barber school, pour into these students, man, so that this is not even a topic in the barber industry. Because people should be leaving school with all the education that they're supposed to have. People should be leaving school. If you're an instructor and you see one of those students that he's slacking on coming to school every day on time, pour into him, man. Let him know that discipline is everything. Let him know punctuality is everything. Train these students so that when they get out, they don't have these issues. You know, they know where they want to go. They know what kind of barber they are. They are fully confident in their skills and abilities. And even if they don't have the actual skill, the craft down packed, at least they know where they stand and who they are, and they're coming into this game professionally.